The media technologies that I've used have been so effective in ensuring that my blog, videos and also my main tasks fulfill their maximum potential. I've used so much equipment such as my DSLR and also my Steadicams and tripods. Alongside these, I've used software such as Photoshop, After Effects and Premiere Pro, and I've developed my skills in using this equipment and technology to help achieve a high standard of work, and here's exactly why. I wanted my blog to have its own style, as I really want to take pride in the aesthetic look that makes my work look so attractive, and in doing this I use WordPress, which is a free networking platform that allows bloggers to connect to each other, and thus this is exactly why I wanted to use this sort of blog platform for my work, as this website was used to show off all my work, like my media text and all of my research. This is such basic technology, but my blog work wouldn't be as easily accessible for my audience, and also I wouldn't look as professional should I opt for a different website or platform like Blogger. WordPress is so interactive and it gives me a great platform to showcase my work to the world, and also it helps me connect to YouTube and other social networking sites, and it all worked so well together because it's free, and also you could choose which sort of blog style you went for, so I chose the intergalactic theme, and that's why I used a lot of headers and things like that for my videos. Photoshop is the cornerstone of my research, planning and finished media texts, as I used it for my blog, for my headers and thumbnails, and for my research for all the informative text that I needed on screen whilst I spoke. It was used for almost every post, and it can help and it lets me be creative and achieve the highest possible marks. I used Photoshop for my two ancillary texts, and I was able to create the polygon effect on both of my texts and create them in the most effective way, as I used the polygon tool to create the triangles, and I used the average blur tool, which was Command D, so that I could do this and create the best possible effect for my posters and magazine, so that it continued the same sort of style, and it was very effective in obtaining an audience because they will notice that this style follows on, and then it can really sort of reveal the puzzle about my character and the protagonist that is on the poster. It was so important to my work, as I put so much effort into every single post, and my blog videos need to be at a high standard to achieve my aspirational grade. That's why I use Photoshop for every single post that I've done. I also use Photoshop for my film, but in a smaller scale, as I used it to create the review law rules, and even if it wasn't used all that much for my main product, it was still a fundamental part in making my trailer look realistic, and as a result, my blog, videos, ancillary tasks and trailer were all completed to a high standard. I'm still using Photoshop for my evaluation, as my previous videos and this one have used templates to show multiple videos and graphic text that work well with Premiere Pro, and another important essential to my work is that I can also use this alongside Premiere Pro to create graphics, and also it can really help me produce better quality work, and as a result my work looks and is of a higher standard. My skills in using Photoshop have also developed, because I was quite good at Photoshop before, but now I'm very time efficient and it still retains the same quality as a result, and I can then move on to other tasks such as a new video, because I'm so quick at creating thumbnails, as I can make them in minutes, and that might not seem that important, but I can then use my time on other videos, which is why I managed to stay so up to date on my blog whilst keeping my standards high, whilst other tasks like my trailer and my two ancillary texts. I use Photoshop the most, as my videos need to be graphically appealing, as I didn't record myself, just my audio, so I really want my videos to be that interactive, and also using so many different templates and videos on screen, so that even when I was talking it made sense, and that the audience could actually like my videos and enjoy them because they all made sense, and the research, even though it might not have been that interesting at some parts, it still was great at obtaining an audience, and they really did enjoy it as a result. Premiere Pro was the software that I used to edit my videos throughout my planning, research, media text and also my evaluation. This software works well with other softwares so that I can create an immersive video and ensure that my audience stays interested in my research and all the tasks that I've completed. This software was so important to all of my work, and it was used most for my film, as I needed the different types of files and also effects along with templates that I've used for my evaluation questions like this one, and it's so great because it's so professional and it's so great to edit on, as it's an industry standard, and it helps me keep up to date on my work in so many ways, as I can just upload my clips straight away, edit them quickly and export it, and it's easy as that. My videos look good as a result, and my skills in using this have developed as I'm more time efficient and know how to make my videos look great and of a very high standard, even though they take me half the time that they did when I first started using this software. Premiere Pro is so good for editing, as it lets me tweak so many aspects like the sound volume, the speed of the clip and adding graphics on screen. It is so great to creating videos as it can be so interactive, and the constant use of this during my research and planning only helped with my trailer, as I was able to use this with my knowledge so that I didn't have to spend so much time editing my trailer, as I had already got used to the effects and transition types. So even editing the sound, I was able to add fade to the sound so that my trailer was so smooth and realistic and had no hard cuts, which can really sort of throw the audience off of the trailer if it looks really tacky and horrible. Editing my trailer, which is the most important aspect of my coursework, and it was so vital, and without this software my trailer wouldn't have achieved such a high standard without it, as I was able to produce my work in 1080p and render my work to then upload it to YouTube with no worries about whether there would be any mistakes. Other editing softwares such as iMovie are great at small videos, but I run into numerous errors as the software couldn't keep up with the files that I was using, and this would then slow down and cause the program to crash. The reason why Premiere Pro was so great to use was because it was reliable, easy and very professional, all to help achieve the best standard of work no matter the video size. Premiere Pro was so difficult to use to start off with, but now I find myself using it more than anything else, and I feel that as I got better, I wanted to make more and more videos. That's why there is no written work on my blog. I had no experience with this software before, unlike Photoshop, so I spent the first 2 months of my coursework trying to get better and better, and when the time came to edit my trailer, I was fully prepared and I couldn't see myself editing on anything else but Premiere Pro, as it pays attention to so many small details and helps out my work, and there is a reason why it is used by many professionals in the film industry. I use this software as much as I used Photoshop, and it really helps because I can just film my voice on a script, and then I can just put all the clips straight into the audio, and then all I have to do is overlay it with different templates and videos that can match up with the things that I'm saying. And this really helps to create immersive videos, and I feel that my audience will benefit from this because I think the editing is the main part in also enticing a viewer into watching a video. So if the video isn't interactive with a lot of different templates and videos on screen with a lot of motion graphics and things like that, I think that the video will sort of not be as fun and enjoying as another video, even if it is just basic research into a specific film or something like that. And I think that I've used it to its full potential in my evaluation questions, as I needed to show so many different things on a screen at one time, and I think that I've really benefited from this and in the later stages of my coursework, like in the main task and also in my evaluation questions like this one. After Effects was by far the hardest software to use of them all, and I still struggle with it today, even though I have used it frequently, and also I haven't really got the grasp on it like I have with Premiere Pro and also Photoshop, but these skills can only develop as I grow and use them a lot more. But I used it on so many different occasions for different tasks. For example, I used small intros on my video to make them look sharp and interesting. I created the effects on Premiere Pro, and the first one I had done was for my research and planning videos, but whilst growing closer to my main task research, I opted to create a logo that looked great to start off a trailer. Thus I used the colourful splash animation, and I created this on After Effects, and this might not have been that important, but it makes my film look that little bit more realistic and immersive, and something that is conventional, and it's so important for a trailer to appeal to an audience, and I've used this on all of my videos after this. So it was so important in also obtaining an audience, because after the green screen that's shown, the MPAA splash logo, I really wanted to sort of interest the audience, so by using an interactive and different logo for Take Two Films, which is my made-up production company, I felt that I could really sort of make the trailer look that little bit more realistic and like they're actually watching a film that's been made with a high budget. Double exposure was something that I saw during the opening title sequences in True Detective when I was researching into this, as I needed a different kind of inspiration, and I feel that the two main characters in this inspired me, but I also took inspiration from the double exposure, and I wanted to create this ever since I saw it in my AS research. But I found a tutorial online and on YouTube, and I wanted to combine the plain rating law rules with double exposure, and I did so by filming my protagonist against the green screen, filming an outside landscape video of a forest location, which could then come into the trailer or the actual film, do the audience decide to go and watch it, and then keying it out in After Effects so that my protagonist was faceless and the double exposure was animated and perfectly put into my trailer for quick breaks in the action and to really make it look realistic and like a real trailer. This is something that I felt made my trailer so successful, and it made it look even better because it's something that is unique and unseen in the trailer. In order to do this since the start, make my trailer conventional but also develop simple conventions into something that look artistic and of high quality. In my opinion, After Effects demands so much care, and the smallest detail, like a tear in my green screen, could have made my double exposure look half as good, so I had to spend so much time making and editing these before I edited my trailer, as I wanted to ensure that they fit in with my clips and weren't of a low quality in comparison to the clips that I use. That's why I had to spend so much time when preparing the video and using the tripod so there was no shake in the actual recording, so it didn't affect the double exposure in any way. So I had to really make sure that the setup was perfect for the double exposure, because the software is so demanding, because you really need to pay attention to the details that you're recording so that you can then process it, and in post-production when you edit it, it really needs to be specific and precise so that the keying and it can really sort of take out the background, and it can really sort of make the character actually realistic, so you can actually notice that it's an actual person rather than anyone else or something that's completely made up. And I really needed to use After Effects for this, because I don't think any other software would have done it, and After Effects is so great to create animations and also effects like this, as I also found other effects like the Hemlock Grove bipolar personality sort of effect, where you can have a split personality of someone. But I thought that this was so good because it could be used so well for a trailer, and that's why I decided to recreate it. And it did take a lot of time, but it was time that was well spent, because the time that I'd saved on Photoshop and Premiere Pro and also my filming, I could then put into this, and this took so much time, but I felt that it was very worthy, and it's something that I really wanted to use, and I'm so glad that I created it and also fitted it into a trailer, which is something that I didn't think that I would be able to do when I started my research and planning. DaVinci was so important and fundamental in making my clips look industry standard and not that of a simple filter used in Photoshop or in Premiere Pro. I wanted my film to take place in so many different locations, so filming on separate days would take up so much unneeded time that I needed for editing, so I opted to colour grade them differently, so my film explored different dates, times and locations by adjusting the brightness and the filter that is used. I used the blue filter with a higher use of exposure to show that my character was working into the early hours of the morning, and a darker yellow filter to show that my protagonist was working until the sun goes down, and these are the clips that are filmed at around the same time. And I've done this to show that my protagonist has sort of a workaholic nature and he's persistent on catching this criminal, but then also it shows that his lack of interest in his personal life as his family is suffering as a result, and that's why he has to face two different battles, one against the protagonist and one against winning his family back. And I felt that doing this through the use of the filter and the colour grading was so perfect, because they match together so perfectly, and even the smallest details can create such a great effect. And this was used on most of my clips, and I explained in my colour grading research that I could change a boring clip into an atmospheric connotation. I was able to decrease the mood of the scene to show the emotional battle that my protagonist was facing by reducing the brightness, and also changing the filter to the morning had a kind of a different feel to it and demonstrate his eagerness to fulfil his aims even though he's deprived of sleep. These were such basic and simple steps in ensuring that my film looked and fulfilled its potential, and even the colour of the clips might not seem that effective, but my trailer takes place over different times and it goes backwards and forwards like a trailer should. And DaVinci was so important for the post-production process, as it worked well in conjunction with Premiere Pro, and I was ultimately able to generate effective conventional clips for my trailer that were colour graded differently, so that all the scenes would never matched up like a short film. There was no continuity. They really had to be different from each other like a trailer should be, and that's exactly why I feel like I was successful in creating my trailer and also colour grading my clips that way. YouTube is a great social networking site in which I can display my videos, and as a result I have posted all of my research and planning videos, main task research, ancillary text research and my final trailer, along with this evaluation and my others. YouTube helps me connect with others and show my videos to everyone. And YouTube is such a simple website to use, but it's so effective, in which I can upload all my videos and then link the videos to my blog, so all my posts are up to date, and also they're easy to access, and also the examiners can go onto them quite quickly, and so can my audience. I use my Mac at home to edit and use Photoshop, and also edit some videos on, but when I had the time at school, I edited most of my videos at school using the Macs there, so I was able to upload almost a video a day due to the super fast Wi-Fi. And the reason why I uploaded as many videos as I did was because I was so organised, because I was able to, in my own time, create so many different videos and clips, then order them into folders, create the templates with them at school, and then also all I had to do at home was just order them up, create the templates, and then take them into school via a USB drive, and I was able to just edit and get them done within an hour, so that I was time efficient and was creating so many different videos that were of a high standard, but it was also time efficient. And I used my Macs to complete almost all tasks, and whether they were easy or hard, I made it, and I was able to create so many different videos and complete tasks such as editing my ancillary tasks. And I've done this because the software on iMacs are so easy to use and immersive, because they're so simple to use because you could just drag all the files in, and I was able to obtain the grade that I wanted in this because the software is so easy to use, and even though it might not seem that important, but it was probably the most important aspect of my coursework because I was always using an iMac, be it Photoshop, WordPress or even DaVinci. I was able to do this at home and at school, which gave me the platform to produce so many blog posts, and as a result I created all of my posts as videos, which I felt would be of good quality, so there was no need for written posts. I could just create so many different videos and also blog posts. My Canon 700D DSLR was used to film and record myself for my videos, as well as my trailer. I used my camera along with my Rode mic to film all my scripted videos and then edit on Premiere Pro. My camera was so important as I used it in all my videos like audience research and my trailer, and I used it to its full potential in my trailer, as I made use of the manual focus and the isotope levels so my protagonist was always in shot and in focus, so there was no blurry clips and that my trailer looked sharp and professional. I used my camera for almost everything, be it the audio clips, audience research and the clips of my trailer. In my opinion, the skills that I obtained from my own research and my other subject, photography, let me know how to adjust the settings and adjust the lighting so that on a particular shooting day it meant that my clips were of a high standard and sharp, and this meant even editing my clips on DaVinci meant the colour grading wasn't too harsh and it looked realistic and it almost looked unedited. And in my opinion, despite my clips being colour graded manually, my clips didn't suffer as a result of the lighting, so there was no harsh lighting, and my post-production editing was beneficial of the use of the camera settings such as the isotope level. So I didn't just use the DSLR, I adjusted all of the camera levels and isotopes so that it really sort of made it a lot more effective, and also it made it more cinematic because adjusting the isotope level can really sort of make a boring old scene that's just got average lighting to a sort of deeper and darker colour, where all of the dark colours are darker and with the brighter colours are slightly darker. And doing this, it also helped me create so many different camera shots and viewpoints, because from when I had my antagonist and protagonist looking very unhappy and serious, I could make all my scenes dark, but then for my average sort of point of view shots and other things like that, I made them sort of simple and realistic. My mic was essential in keeping up with the videos on screen, as I needed a high quality audio sound system so that it could match it, and my microphone was directional, so it eliminates all background noise so that all my voice in the video sounds prominent, as well as the high quality of my audience research feedback and my protagonist dialogue in my trailer, as I needed such a high quality microphone to keep up with all of the high quality camera equipment, other things like that, and software, such as a simple piece of equipment. And it was so easy to use, but it was so useful in making the audio sound so much better and sharper, which is just as important as anything else, as it matches the high standards set by graphics and research on screen, as I didn't want really bad camera quality to go with the very intense and also effective graphics that are seen on screen, such as like my research. I really wanted my research to be sort of really of a high standard, and I couldn't do this without a mic, so I really needed a good mic, and I felt that I'd done this by using the very mic that I'm using at the moment, so that my voice is directional and also effective in creating a prominent voice, so that when I talk over my videos you can hear the voice and you don't just look at the screen. Lighting is an essential for cinematography, and my mise-en-scène had to be beautifully put together, such as modern crime films like The Hateful Eight and Star Wars use this to create a realistic and sort of surreal atmosphere like in Star Wars, because the detail to the settings and also the sort of damage to such different properties like the Millennium Falcon, and also in the Hateful Eight with the aged sort of like cabin with all the dents and things like that in it, really made it that little bit more realistic, because I think that adding realism to a film, and also films like Star Wars that really need to sort of appeal to an audience because of the settings that they used, I had to use lighting as a simple way to create such great effect, and the use of umbrellas to direct the light onto my protagonist's face also helped, as I used the work as I used the lighting to work with my camera's isotope settings, as the high use of light meant that I could make my film more cinematic and realistic that can appeal to my target audience, just like films like The Hateful Eight and Star Wars have done. Again, another simple piece of equipment, but my tripod was so good as I put it to use for my audience research, as it was stable and helped achieve a very professional interview style, and I also used it for my trailer. I used a lot of pans, tilt-ups and other camera shots that demanded stability when filming, and this made them look better when it comes to my finished trailer, and as a result it was a foundation that my videos relied on, as it made them more effective in the way they look and appeal to my audience. My Steadicam was very important for the shots in my trailer and location research. It provides stability in why my camera shots look great, and as a result leaves the audience with admiration of how I kept such awkward shots, such as a tracking shot, so stable. And I use this a lot because of the mechanism of the way to balance out the camera, let me track my protagonist and also film locations and settings to use for my trailer. And I felt that this is such a simple piece of equipment that really should be used more by a lot of amateur filmmakers like myself. And I really used it to its full potential because it only cost me about £40, but it really did create such a great sort of effect for my trailer because all my shots were stable, and even though I could have just used a simple tripod, it wouldn't have created this effect. And I feel that as a result my trailer looked that little bit better had I not used it. I feel that my trailer would have looked a little bit less of a higher quality, and I really wanted my trailer to be sort of the cornerstone of amateur film, and really sort of, because this was my main and my first attempt at a film, I really wanted to be of a high standard so I can sort of make my name for myself. And I really wanted to go into uni with a lot of experience of using this equipment. That's why I used Steadicams and other tripods and things like that, so I could really sort of test myself out with all this equipment and get ready for the next few years of my life where I will be using this equipment constantly. GarageBand was so important for my trailer, as the music is important as anything else, such as the camera shots or even the dialogue that was used for my protagonist. The reason why it was so good and easy was because it's so simple to use, and I was able to create music in 2 hours. I enjoyed using this software as it's simple, and it's probably the easiest to use for the first time than any other editing software. I was so happy with the music that I created, as I didn't know if it would be a success, but it was actually one of the strong aspects of my film trailer. In conclusion, I feel that all of the equipment and software that I've used for my media coursework have fully benefited me, as I've used all the technology and equipment effectively, and I haven't got a bad word to say about any of them. Even some of the simplest things like a tripod or mic have given me such a better quality of work, and I feel that each and every one of these products and different equipments and software have helped me become successful in my media coursework, and in turn helped me achieve the grade that I wanted and worked hard for. I think that I've really sort of used these to their full potential, and even though some of them have been hard to use, such as After Effects, I feel that I've really sort of adapted to this and really used it for my work efficiently and effectively to create the highest standard of work that I really wanted, as I put so much effort into this, and this equipment only helped me take my media coursework a little bit further and get me more marks and also go up more grades because of this.